Roll call. Thank you. I apologize.
Mayor Gillespie.
Here.
Councilman Bowles. Chair,
Here.
Vice Chair Gardner. Chief Johnson. Ms. Carpenter. Mr. Hall. Mr. McAuley. Mr. Nelson.
All right. Well,
May I ask for a point of privilege?
absolutely.
Well, if you don't mind, since we have a new chair, I wanted to bring something forth, a commendation for our old chair.
Absolutely.
If that's okay. I mean, not that he's that old, but he is sort of old.
Where are we going with this?
It pretty much just says, as he comes down the stairwell over here, you might need a cane to get him down over here, but whereas Reuben Gardner was appointed to the City of Prattville Planning Commission in March 1991, whereas he was elected to serve as vice chairman September 1998, and whereas Reuben was then elected to serve as chairman in January 2001, whereas he has continued to serve as chairman and vice chairman intermittently since his initial election, whereas Reuben has served as conscientious and dedicated member of the City of Prattville Planning Commission during that time, whereas he has consistently demonstrated through word and action a deep concern of his community, its presence, and future well-being, whereas Reuben has steadfastly promoted the interests, goals, and objectives of the Planning Commission in the City of Prattville, Alabama. Now, therefore, Mayor of the City of Prattville do hereby commend and offer congratulations to Reuben Gardner for his contributions to this commission, City of Prattville, and our community over the past 23 years. Signed by me.
All right, Reuben.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It'll show up on Facebook here in about 5 minutes.
Since I still have a little point of privilege over here, I do say I want to recognize everybody else that has served up here, and this is the first of many commendations coming. So, there again, thank you for all your services.
All right.
See what you get. Make a year.
I know it. Something. I don't see the minutes. Did we have the minutes to be approved, or are there minutes? Okay. And there's no old business. We do have some new business. We do have a public hearing with it. Do we read it in first?
No, just.
Public hearing for, okay. We do have a public hearing. Does anybody want to come speak for or against the preliminary plat of
Yes,
the Oaks of Buena Vista?
this is a two-lot subdivision that is located in, we just platted this area right here, we refer to as 3B. And when our contractor built the road, he generously gave us an extra 45 feet for some reason. And didn't complain about it, but we have extra road, so we have decided to come back and plat the next two lots because we have the road built there. So all we're asking for at this time is to plat 2 lots.
Okay.
Small amount of work to do with some utility extensions and stuff like that.
Is there anybody else who wants to speak for or against it? Public hearing is closed. Would you please read, Roy, will you read it in?
Happy to. Resolution preliminary plat, the Oaks of Buena Vista, number 3C, March 20th, 2014. Whereas the Oaks, whereas the Oaks of Buena Vista LLC is the owner of the Oaks of Buena Vista, number 3C, and whereas the proposed development is located inside the city limits off Cotton Blossom Way, and whereas the sketch plan for the proposed development was approved January 5th, 2006, and whereas a public hearing for the proposed development was heard on March 20, 2014, and whereas the required city departments have reviewed and commented on the proposed preliminary plat, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Prattville Planning Commission hereby gives its favorable review of the preliminary plat of the Oaks of Buena Vista, plat number 3C, and so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. We got read it in a second. Is there any comments for or against it? All right. Joel, thank you. Joel, what we got for? What's your opinion?
city staff has reviewed and certainly it concurs with Mr. Gillen's client's ideas about adding the two lots. And the only thing I need to point out to you is the same thing I pointed out to you with plat number 3B, is that these two lots have the same non-buildable area that's being platted on the back of these lots that were covered in roughly lots 11 through 15 and 16 through 20 in the previous plat. And just to review, Mr. Gillen covered it the last time the Oaks of Buena Vista was up for approval. These areas were essentially used as borrow pits for material that's used in the roads, and then topsoil or material with poor structural characteristics was put back in these areas at the back of these lots. Now, by zoning, these typically would not be areas that would be built on, and they have been clearly marked on the plat, but you need to be aware that that's the case as well. So, be glad to answer any questions.
When we,
Ms. Carpenter.
when we approved 3B, I think you said it was,
Yes, ma'am.
did we have any kind of additional stipulation or anything? I mean, do we need to,
No, ma'am.
so it's shown on the plat?
Right.
or
It's
what?
clearly shown on the plat. It's clearly there for future owners to
Okay, so I just
to
want
be
to make sure
aware.
we didn't have to amend the
know.
resolution.
We just
Okay.
want to make sure that is the only thing that's out of the ordinary on this plat, and just want to make sure that was clearly stated.
And, okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, sir.
And I guess for clarity, I mean, as far as the size of the house, it'll still be the same as what's the rest of the market in that neighborhood, and setback and stuff?
Yes, that is a discussion that we had with the owner, the developer, the first time with the first plat, is that they had established in the first plat a setback which was greater than zoning required, and frankly would have created some conflict, and so they adjusted the setback both on previous plat and on this one to come in line with zoning. So it still will it still will put some limitations on the builder, but if the first plat is any indication, they can still meet zoning and not ask for any variances. And that was our objective, is to make sure that you can still put a house on there and not have to request variances, because that would certainly put the the Board of Adjustment in a bad spot. That would be defined as a self-created hardship, and very, very unlikely to get a variance for that. So we have looked closely at that.
We're gonna find somebody to buy it. Not any planning commission spending, so.
All right.
Thank you,
Any
Mr.
other
Chair.
comment for Joel? Anything from Mr. Duke? Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Gillen, you have anything you want to add?
No, I don't, but just to let you know, the soils were terrible soils. We had to do a lot. For some of you that didn't remember, we had to excavate all the way through the roadway and on the lots so that the houses could be built, because we ran into a vein starting up here, some very, very poor soils. And we'll be coming back to you next month. We're changing the sketch plan up so that we don't have to deal with these soils or put the houses on anything near that, because we don't want to pay to dig it up, put the good dirt in, take the good dirt and haul it off, and all those things. It's very expensive, so it's not a situation we choose or want to be in.
You gonna move the street?
We are going to, well, I think our sketch plan, when we get it to you next month, you're going to get to decide. Is that fair?
All right. Okay, good enough.
Anything else from any other comments? All right. All in favor of approving as read into the meeting? Say, raise your right hand. All opposed? By like sign? All right. Ms. Carpenter, will you read the final part?
Final plat, the Oaks of Buena Vista, number 3C, March 20th, 2014. Whereas the Oaks of Buena Vista LLC is the owner of the Oaks of Buena Vista, number 3C, and whereas the proposed development is located inside the city limits off Cotton Blossom Way, and whereas the sketch plan for the proposed development was approved January 5, 2006, and whereas the preliminary plat for the proposed development was approved on March 20, 2014, and whereas the required city departments have reviewed and commented on the proposed final plat. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Prattville Planning Commission hereby gives its favorable review of the final plat of the Oaks of Buena Vista, plat number 3C. So moved.
Have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by right hand. Opposed, like sign. All right. Do we have any other, looks like everything there, any new business, miscellaneous, or anything anybody wants to bring up?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say something.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, thank you for this prize and the Planning Commission and Mr. Duke and whatever. This is kind of heart touching here because this don't really happen that much. To me, I just like to give, but thank you again. I'm kind of speechless. Ask for a raise. Mr. Chairman, can I get a raise?
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I might just want to add on and echo a little bit of what I said from up there. I mean, there's been a lot of good dedication to this city by this board, and I just thought it appropriate since, we had a change of the seat there, but there was going to be some more appreciation showed to this board because there is a lot of hard work and dedication in the city, and all of you guys have made Prattville better one project at a time, and I certainly appreciate that.
Anything else for the good for the city? All right. Well, meeting adjourned.